Last time on the Black Gate, I decided to go ahead and investigate the imprisonment of a man named Weston. If you remember, Alina and her baby daughter Cassie are staying at the Fellowship shelter back in Paws, and Alina confided in us that her husband Weston was in prison for stealing apples from the royal orchards in Britain. She claimed that it was a Fellowship member who accused her husband, so we went over to Britain, and Weston was in prison on the top of Castle British, of all places. He did indeed that he admitted to stealing the apples, only because Fig, the owner of the royal orchards, or caretaker rather, was charging an exorbitant price, but cut prices for Fellowship members, if I remember correctly. He pleaded with the Avatar, aka me, to go talk to Lord British and see if he can overturn his case, or rather look at his case a little bit closely. So that's what I did. I went over to Lord British, he looked over a scroll and said someone usurped his authority. No one even told him about the case, even though Weston was literally in his castle. So in a rare moment of actually being useful, he overturned the case entirely, and Weston was free to go back to his wife Alina and his baby daughter Cassie. Afterwards, I decided to continue our hunt for Elizabeth and Abraham. Last we heard they went over to Jellum, the city of fighters, and the city of valor. This is where we picked up Dupre many parts ago, and according to the mayor of Jellum, E and A were looking to build a branch here. Jellum is lacking a Fellowship presence here in the island, and according to the mayor, it's not likely to happen. But instead of going back to the mainland, I decided to stay here in Jellum and investigate the talk of the town. People here in town are saying there's a duel between Sprellick and 3 members of the Library of Scars, a fighting school ran by Disnell. Sprellick is a timid innkeeper, and he's being challenged by Syria, Vokes, I believe, and Timmins. Reason? They claim that he stole the honor flag of Jellum. But Sprellick told us that an Avatar came to his inn and demanded a whole bunch of stuff, and was being one of the worst guests a hotel owner will have to deal with. He mentioned that the Avatar, who is obviously a fake Avatar, demanded a whole bunch of blankets. Sprellick ran out of blankets and decided to run into town at night until he found a flag just hanging on a building. He took it, not knowing what it was, gave it to the fake Avatar, and the fake Avatar disappeared in the morning, with every blanket in his possession. Syria mentioned that taking the honor flag from the Library of Scars means that you are a better fighter than anyone in the Library of Scars, though admittedly Sprellick didn't really know that. In order to regain her honor, because she was on guard when the flag was taken, she challenged Sprellick to a duel to regain her honor, and then later on, Vokes did the same, and then later on, Timmins did the same. We decided to go ahead and help Sprellick because there's no way he can win 3 duels in one go. He is completely out of place here in Jellum. He is what the fighters here would call craven. He is timid and pretty weak and doesn't know any sort of fighting style. After talking with each and every single person in town, a man named Clifton, who is a retired soldier, mentioned that he can just sew a new honor flag of Jellum, and that we can hand it at noon when the duel is supposed to take place. Basically, the conditions of the duel is that you either fight the 3 members of the Library of Scars, or you just simply return the flag. And considering the fake Avatar stole the flag as well as many other blankets from the inn, that is not going to happen. But thankfully we have a sewer amongst fighters of all people here in Jellum. We could have just killed the duelist, but it's always best to find a peaceful resolution considering that we are the Avatar. Towards the end of the video, I decided to go ahead and talk to Disnell, the leader of the Library of Scars, because, if you remember, we found the Serpentine dagger back at the murder site in Minnoch, near those 2 dead gypsies. Disnell teaches a fighting art using serpentine weapons, serpentine swords, and serpentine daggers. We questioned him on it after talking to him, and he asked us to ask for his demonstration of the fighting arts. Basically, he challenged us to a duel, so we basically wrecked him with our powerful party members at this point. Unfortunately, that lead is a complete dead end because Disnell would rather die than tell us where he gave that dagger, who he gave that dagger to, rather. And then the part ended, and so is this recap, which is the longest it's been so far, I believe. Welcome back, guys, to the Let's Play of Ultima VII the Black Gate. We are done here in Jellum. I'm going to go to Britain. I forgot to talk to Miranda, I think, about the Lock Lake bill we gave to Lord Heather in a part or 2 ago. And I don't think she's in here, she's at home. Which is fine, because our next task is to talk to the people In Britain, I'm still chasing after Elizabeth and Abraham, so I gotta ask Batlin about that, though I feel like he's just gonna tell us to go to Minnock, because that's where he told us where they were going the last time we visited. But we gotta talk to the people here in this big city anyways. Then here we are, right next to the museum. And also, it's really late, almost late, 6:39 p.m. There's going to be a fellowship meeting here soon. Don't know if I'm going to watch. There's also a key right there. We'll worry about that in the future. Let's talk to Batlin. Ruben, my dear, dear friend, how wonderful to see thee again, says Batlin. He's very friendly. Ah. Apple's voice, meditation retreat, Elizabeth and Abraham. We'll ask about EA. And then I mentioned that. You probably already know Elizabeth and Abraham, EA the company. That's not a coincidence, but you probably already know that, but just in case. Elizabeth and Abraham, Batlin smiles and shakes his head. Thou art not having much luck tracking them down, art thou? They were here, having done some work in Jellum. Okay. They came back here. But now they have gone to Vesper to see about starting a branch there. Oh, great. He's kind of mocking us a little bit. Hey, about those apples, because we released Weston, the last part. While thou art here, please feel free to enjoy an apple, the finest in all of Britannia, I am certain thou wilt find. They are provided to the fellowship by the Royal Orchards. Oh, didn't mention anything about Weston. That confirms something, though, that the fellowship member accused Weston of stealing apples, which he did, but which he got a really harsh punishment. Voice. Only active or potential fellowship members are privy to the concept of the voice. I can tell thee more when thou dost take the fellowship test. We won't click that. He's gonna have us administer the test. We're not gonna do that yet. Bit of a spoiler, I think. We're gonna have to. We gotta infiltrate and see what's going on in this shady organization, which is not at all shady to the average normie on Britannia. Meditation retreat. It is a retreat from the pressures and distractions of everyday life where new members of the fellowship may go and study the philosophies of the fellowship. It is located on an island east of Serpent's Hold. And speaking of islands, I think there's an area I want to explore until we meet again Avatar near Jellum, but I think we'll do that in the future. Like, should I be writing that down? I don't even know. Let's talk to some NPCs. I don't know who. I think we'll go... We talked to Candace in the Royal Museum. We talked to Patterson. There's a bum here. A guard walking with his big old two-hander. I'm gonna talk to him. Goodbye, he says. You see a filthy beggar who flashes you a grin as though you were his best friend in the whole world. Name. I'm called Snaz. Job. I have no job, for I am a beggar. For a gold coin, I shall tell thee a joke. Beggar, you say? We'll give him some money later. When I was just a little boy, I was made an orphan and left homeless and penniless. That was a joke life played on me. 'Tis a funny joke, eh? I will not charge thee a gold piece for that one. Oh, thank goodness. We need all the gold we can get. And I just noticed, or just remembered, the glow on the avatar's face. Makes him look heavenly. Same thing for the female avatar, I think. Tell a joke. Dost thou wish to hear one? Yes. All right, here is one. Fellowship joke. I was discussing philosophy with a fellowship member the other day, and he asked me, what, in thine opinion, is the height of stupidity? So I said, I do not know. How tall art thou? No, really, I make sport of the fellowship, but I mean it sincerely. That's pretty funny. Ah. What can you tell me about the fellowship seriously, though? That is what I dearly love about the fellowship. They could always take a joke. And from what I hear, they play funny jokes themselves. Like the joke they played Intrinsic. That's not much of a joke, which is a joke, I don't know. But you gotta be careful. You don't want it to end up like Christopher or something. Lord British joke. For a gold coin, I will tell thee another. Dost thou wish to hear it? Well, that's why I clicked on it. Yes. I was at the castle of Lord British the other day. I noticed he has 3 large pools. He does? So I asked him why he doth have 3 of them. He pointed to the first one and said the first one was to swim in cool water. The second was for friends to swim in warm water. I noticed that the third pool was empty and I asked him why. He said that it was for people who could not swim. Weston joke. Yeah, that's very funny, I guess. What can you tell me about Lord British? Or let's do Weston. For a gold coin, I will tell thee another. Dost thou wish to hear it? Sure. A man named Weston came to me deep in perplexity. He told me he wanted to steal some apples from the royal orchards, but if he did, he would feel bad about it in the morning. So I gave him this advice: sleep until noon. That's funny. Lord British. Poor Lord British, when faced with a gigantic menace that threatens his entire kingdom, he's an extremely capable ruler. But what happens when there are a myriad of smaller things that all threaten the welfare of his people indirectly? There's a riddle for thee to solve. Weston. Weston now sits in the castle prison, where he shall most certainly rot for the rest of his life. Try as I might, I cannot best that little jest. Well, he's free now, just so you know. No dialogue to reflect that, unfortunately. Mage joke. For a gold coin, I'll tell thee another. I will hear it. Whilst traveling on the road, I came across a mage. He looked as if he had not eaten for days and complained of a terrible pain in his stomach. So I told him his stomach was empty. If he put something in it, he would feel better. Later, he complained to me of a headache. I said his headache was caused by a similar problem as his stomach. No doubt it did hurt him so, because being a mage, there was nothing left in it. Yeah, the mages have gone kooky in Britannia. That's a funny joke. Mages. All the mages have gone daft or mad. What other proper response is there in a world that is so terrifically funny? Why don't you just be a comedian at the Blue Boar Inn? You probably make some money like that. Sullivan joke. Thou art a brave avatar. Dost thou wish to hear another? Yes. Didst thou notice the notorious Sullivan the Trickster recently became a father? We heard of Sullivan. He's the guy pretending to be us, the avatar. It is true, they say the baby has his father's eyes and his mother's nose, but they made the baby give them back. Huh. Sullivan. Yes, I know the man they call Sullivan the Trickster. In fact, thou dost remind me of him. Or does he remind me of thee? He is so tricky that just talking about him has caused me to trick myself. Gold joke. I have amused thee so far. Wouldst thou like to hear another? Is a joke about gold. Sure. Thank thee very much. Now goodbye. Dost thou get it? Ha! If not, it will be my pleasure to repeat it. Wouldst thou like to hear the gold joke again? No. I see thou art becoming wise to the ways of show business, my lord. Good day to thee. If you say yes, he keeps taking your gold. And that's the joke. Let's go to the Blue Boar Inn. I imagine there's more people to talk to. There is. Everyone's here having a nice bite to eat, a nice drink. This kind of thing back when I played as a kid was like mind-blowing. NPCs would go to work, they come to the tavern, eat some food, chat, assumingly with each other. I guess we'll talk to... It's kind of weird to talk to people in the tavern, but let's start with this guy. We don't know him. Townsman. Excuse me. You see a farmer who, despite showing considerable wear from hard work, appears energetic, cheerful, and friendly. We don't have enough chairs to sit down, unfortunately. So we're going to do it standing up. No comment. I am Brownie. I asked his name. Job. Well, I ran for the office of Mayor of Britain once, but I lost. Now I'm back doing what I've been doing since I was a boy, working the farm. Ah, yeah, he ran for the Mayor of Britain, but Patterson won. I think in a landslide. Mayor. Patterson won the election. He spent a lot of money on his campaign. Most of it to buy votes. But I am not bitter. I was just not meant to be mayor. Patterson. Patterson courted the support of the Fellowship. Huh. Fellowship is everywhere, aren't they? They got their hands in everything. They forced a vote from all their members. Once word spread, my support drained away. No one wants to be on the losing side, Brownie sighs. Losing. Of course, I could have won the election if I had wanted to. I had information about Patterson that would have ruined any chances of him winning. Information? I could have revealed a secret about Patterson, but if I did, it would have hurt someone close to him very much. I did not want to be the mayor that badly. Maybe we'll find out this secret. Patterson does little to hide his secret. If I was keeping an eye on him, thou wilt surely learn of it sooner or later. Well, we're going to keep an eye on him then. Like I said, he shows up in Underworld 2, Patterson. Fellowship. If thou art not with the Fellowship, thou art against them. I think they saw me as a potential enemy that had to be stopped. Election. I do not really have any wish to succeed in politics. It just made me ill seeing all the people with riches mistreat all the people who are poor. And then I have to listen to them talk about how the class system has been abolished. Farm. I feel more at home on the farm growing vegetables. There is another farmer named Mac. We met him. Who works a farm near Britain as well. He raises chickens. Can you tell me about Mac? I like him. He even voted for me. But to tell you the truth about Mac, he is a lunatic. I do believe that he ate a tiger lion, a Kilrathi. Vegetables. I raise pumpkins, but I am in a bind at the moment and need some help. Bind? I strained my back the other day lifting heavy pumpkins. I cannot so much as lift a small one today. I need help with the harvest of pumpkins so that I can get them to the market. Help? There are piles of pumpkins at the north end of the field. I need them brought down near my farmhouse. If thou wilt help me by bringing the pumpkins to me, I will gladly pay thee for thy work. How does 1 gold coin for every pumpkin carried sound? Sure. How nice, a helper. Please, feel free to start work at any time. We may do that, we may not, but for now, I'm going to say, fare thee well. Good day, my lord. And I will save, and I will talk to... Oh, that's Mac. He's eating with Mac, that's funny. And that is... Yay, the clother. We got the avatar suit from him. That's Clint the shipwright. This is someone we haven't talked to. He's a fellowship member as well. Excuse me. Got some allergies coming in my way, I think. You see a shrewd-looking man who smiles as if he has just seen his next customer. Name. I'm Grayson, my lord. A humble and honest man. Job? Why, here in Britain I sell the best armor and weapons that money can buy. In my spare time I do deeds for the fellowship. Fellowship? It has been very beneficial in my life. I was on the verge of going out of business before I joined, and now I am more prosperous than ever before. Yeah, we keep hearing that. People who join the fellowship and have a business tend to succeed. I wonder why. Beneficial. I was never sufficiently forward or aggressive enough to be successful as a merchant, but the fellowship changed all that for me. What did they change? By applying the values of the triad of inner strength to my life, I have accomplished what I have set out to do with my life. Mine armor and weapon shop is successful, and I have a place where I belong in the fellowship. Out of business. See, I'm convinced that my failures were all due to my bad attitude. It took the teachings of the fellowship to change the way, I use my mind and to turn me in the proper direction. Buy. I sell a complete line of armor and weapons. Please come to the shop when it is open. We will do that. Maybe. Goodbye. Goodbye and farewell, my lord. And like I said before, unfortunately, you can't sell weapons and armor in this game. Because we got some stuff to drop. I'm waiting for the right moment, I guess. We'll talk. That's Cynthia, the mint clerk. That's Sean. That's Jeanette. Sean's the jeweler guy. This is Coop. We already talked to him. That's Candace. And that's Jeanette. And this is Lucy. So we talked to pretty much everyone here so far. Didn't mean to click on... I clicked on her, but I'm just felt like doing that. Just ignore that. And I guess we'll go to... Who's that? Who's that? It's good to speak to thee again, says Millie. Goodbye. We already talked to her. Okay, it's 6:59. I think we go up here. There's a building up here I want to check out. Ah, who's that? Let's talk to her. If I can, I missed entirely. How does she get up here so quickly? What the deuce? It's because it turned on the hour. They sort of just pop in, I believe. Okay, we already talked to the actors. And you know my thoughts on actors. Ah, this guy here is someone close to the maid in Castle British. Excuse my slow speech. You see a flamboyant-looking gentleman. He is very cheerful and outgoing, greeting you with a smile and a wave. Name. From out the dawn when sun doth rise, until next morn when moon must go, I answer to thy beck and cries, thine humble servant, Caroccio. That's Nell's, boyfriend, husband. We're not going to choose this, I don't think, because we're going to keep her secret. Job. The puppet's curtain I unfurl, and from mine hands the story's told. For pleasure of a boy or girl, to see doth cost 1 coin of gold. To take good measure of thy power, forge in fire virtue's heart, to ring the bell this very hour. Do test thy strength till thy muscles smart, and perhaps impress thine own sweetheart, Kurochio winks at you. Or dost thou wish to be a king? Yonder sticks a sword and stone. If thou canst only pull it out, thou wilt be the next upon the throne. Imagine the Avatar being the leader of Britannia, which might be an improvement, depending on how you play him. Let's ask about the strength test. I'm also getting a little bit hungry. Darn it. Take the hammer in thine hands and strike a blow upon the ground. If thine arms be possessed of might, then thou shalt hear a ringing sound. Once thou hast struck, if thou hearest naught, then thou dost know thy strength is flagging. But if thou dost win the strength test game, thou shalt receive a stuffed dragon. Okay, what about the puppet show? My childhood's eye spied father's toil. Yeah, he talks like this the entire time. Because he's an entertainer. The puppet show, Splendor Royal. Time's breeze is blown, my father's gone. His child has grown, regrets anon. Gears and wheels move the moppets now, in need of no one. And so I keep his carnival song playing on and on alone. Gears and wheels. I fear an end to my family craft, where the show is run by human heart. But bones do age, not so machines, and we cannot simply replace a part. I carry on as best I can, a machine to play my father's role. Control the marionettes unseen, struggling to imbue them with a soul. What regrets do you have? The faces pressed before me, fleeting moments chance of glee. From the lowly mongrel beggar to the resident of throne, each know their place and gave me chase to find the one for me. Woman whom my life may share, this heart that waits alone. That must be Nell. The awakening of mine heart's idyll lies neath for me for I see her still. No bard could e'er describe nor tell the tenderness of my fair Nell. Nell. 'Tis said love is a fiery angel, riding soft silk wings of pure redemption. My puppet's heart still as an anvil, at the wicked thrill of her attention. By mine angel Nell I am anointed, humble cowardice felled by passion's blade. As her beloved I was hence appointed, perchance through destiny a marriage made. Oh, we got more of this. I'm considering just saying bye, because I'm getting a little tired. We'll do a few more. Marriage, my coins are arrows rushing to make good, till the day when the jeweler sells his ring. For my sure heart is not but carved from wood, and she doth tend to the bed of a king, in more ways than one, as we know. Wicked thrill. Kurochio looks as if he is lost in a memory. After a moment he returns to reality. I will not be a gentleman if I spoke of this more. Forgive me the candor of mine heart's open door. He appears somewhat embarrassed and clears his throat loudly, several times. All right. Resident of throne. Thine ignorance doth make me skittish. Surely thou hast heard of wise Lord British. I've heard of Lord British, but not in the wise sense. We just wanted to know what you thought of him. Mongrel beggar, that must be Snaz. Yep. A beggar man called Snaz will come to watch my show, to steal and sell all my best jokes. Mine own personal foe. That's where he's getting the jokes. He's a thief, so he's not going to be... No wonder he can't do a job at the Blue Boar Inn. Never mind. See foolish pride and love, brutality and sin, Kurochio's tiny world of moving dolls, enough to make thee gasp or cry or grin. All who wish to see, 'tis time to hear my calls, for now the puppet show is about to begin. Alright, once he turns on all the lights... Well, he did turn on all the lights. We're going to do the strength test. See if we're strong enough. Art thou an avatar? Yes, I am. What? There we go. Avatar wins a dragon. Canst thou ring the bell? I just did. And we got... there it is. Gee, is that neat, Spark says. You want it? Here you go. Can't even carry it. That's going to go in the Castle of Fire. Now, why did I fail the first time? I have 60 strength. I don't think that's ever happened before. And do we have other characters leveled up? No, we don't. Do they have any training points? No, they don't. Not going to watch the puppet show. I will click on this, though. See if thou art the next Lord of Britannia. Oh, we're not. I think we're gonna go back to Lord British's castle. If you remember, those toddlers weren't in the nursery room. They were out with Caroccio. So I'm gonna see if they're in that room and we're gonna talk to them a little bit. A lot of talk in this part, just bear with me. Ah. They're all sleepyheads. Well, let's wake them up. Wake up, kid. We gotta talk to you. Oh, it didn't work. Well, it may have worked and they probably just went back to sleep. Here we go. You see a child that has recently grown to toddlerhood. Is Sherry here? I imagine she is. Feels like she's right there. We're just stepping on top of her. Name. His name is Nicholas. And if she's not nearby, the toddlers will mispronounce their own name. It's a little funny. Job. Well, his job is to wet his diaper. Is that not right, Nicholas? Nana says in baby talk. Wee, diaper. Nicholas is one of our orphans. He was left in front of the castle one morning. It is a sad state of affairs when this kind of thing happens. Well, luckily, the castle took him in. Diaper. The diapers are there on that table. I thought we'd just use one on Nicholas. What? You notice that Nicholas's diaper is wet. Oh my, he's a wet one, is he not? Couldst thou be a dear and change him for me? I would appreciate it. Gee, diaper, gee, Nicholas says happily. We'll say bye. Bye-bye. We'll save, and we'll go ahead and use this on Nicholas, I guess. And we can toss this in there. And we'll toss this in there. That's the diaper. Yes, the avatar is so good, he's never had kids, but he can change a diaper, no problem. Let's talk to this one here. This is a cute toddler holding a baby doll. Name. Quisty. Well, the Nana left, so we gotta talk to her. Look what I'm doing. I'm talking to a little kid for no reason. Christy looks confused. Sing, Horsey, Rosa, Winner. Sing. Christy is more than happy to do so. She sings the ABC in the wrong order. MMOOP. She's proud of her song, although she didn't quite get it right. Well, she's just a baby, so let's go easy on her, I guess. Horsey. I love Horsey. She rocks hard on the rocking horse. Rosa. That's her baby doll. Winner. She is Winner. She's Winner. Okay, let's leave and go out to the City of Britain. I think we're going to go to sleep, though, because it's getting rather late. I think we'll sleep till, like, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. I think they go to work at 8, these people here in the world of Britannia. Everyone has the exact same schedule when it comes to their shopkeeping duties. If only it was like that in real life. We'll see if there's anything in this building, though. Oh, there's someone in here. Ah, I remember. There's a band playing in the Blue Boar Inn. We're gonna go back to the inn soon. But there's a guy here. You see a handsome and flamboyant musician. Where are your friends? There's supposed to be 2 other people here. Musician nods at you. I am Nino. Job? I'm studying to be the greatest bard that Britannia has ever known. I probably already am the greatest bard Britannia has ever known. You note that Nino is not at all modest. We got YOLO, so you got your work cut out for you. Bard. Though I don't know how good YOLO is. He's just famous for being the Avatar's companion and playing the famous song Stones. It is a great honor to be a bard. Thou art someone who gives pleasure to other people, while at the same time fulfilling a creative urge within thyself. It is truly magical. I know this from my experience playing with the Avatars. The Avatars. It is a singing group I play with. We play at the Blue Boar every evening. Well, it's evening now. Please come listen to us, Nino leans in to whisper. I plan to begin performing alone very soon. I am obviously the most talented member of the quartet. Alright, studying. The music hall provides a great environment for study. Judith is a wonderful teacher, and the opportunities here are of the highest quality. One day I shall travel the world and entertain the common folk and nobles alike. Entertain. It is my dream to be famous throughout the land. I shall tour the country every year, and play in the largest pubs in every town. He winks at you. I shall be assured of wooing the women, dost thou not think? That's your motivation? Well, that's the motivation of many men. Not in Britannia, but here in the real world. Farewell, thou must watch the postings for our performance dates. And that is it. Anyone else nearby? We got some musical instruments. play that. The avatar's playing that. He can play the harpsichord, which is pretty handy. We'll let that play out a little bit. Ah, the avatar should be a bard. Well, he is a bard, technically. He's all the classes all rolled into one. Can we play this? The answer is yes. That's a harp. And these are the panpipes right here. A whistle. It's a nice little tune. I just want to play these all in one go without saying much. I think it just plays a short tune. If it's long, I'm going to skip over to this, the harp. We already heard that's the lyre. This is the harp. That's it. Let's just leave. I like how the lutes are placed like that right there. I think we'll go to the Blue Boar Inn next. It's almost 8 o'clock. I think everyone goes to sleep at 9. And speaking of which, not Mac, Brownie said we gotta keep an eye on Patterson. A fellowship meeting is gonna happen in like an hour. So we're gonna check in on that, I guess. The aftermath of it. I don't think I want to watch the fellowship meeting. Not right now, at least. And I think I'm going the wrong way. I do not know. Nope, this is the Blue Boar Inn. Sometimes I get lost here in Britain. That food smells good. Hey, where are they? They're not here. What the deuce? The same people here still eating away. Huh. I guess earlier in the evening? I guess I'll just go to sleep. Let's do the Patterson side quest. This way. Or what? Hold on a second. Let's go in the baker's shop. Excuse me. Ah, baker is here. Excellent. We can make some bread. One of the biggest things in Ultima VII is that you make bread. That is definitely a baker. You see a very clean-looking, portly young man who waves at you frantically. Name. My given name is Wilhelm, although no one calls me that. I prefer to be addressed as Willie. Thank thee very much. Okay, what can you tell us about Jeanette? Jeanette is a pleasant enough girl, but to be honest, I cannot see myself with a tavern wench. She thinks I have not noticed how she feels about me. Frankly, I wish she would just leave me alone. Well, she will from now on. She likes Charles now, job. I'm the baker here in Britain, and I make, the sweetest bread thou hast ever tasted. Hast thou had a chance to sample any of my bread yet? Nope. Then here, thou must have some. He tears a piece of bread off of one of several loaves he is carrying, and stuffs it into your mouth. There. Is it not the sweetest bread thou hast ever tasted? It is it not? You chew as fast as you can in order to answer him. Yeah, it's very delicious. He grabs your face by the cheeks and plants a big kiss on your forehead. I don't consent to that. Thou art truly a person of good palate and refined taste. Baker. He nods. Yes, I am a baker and I have many secret recipes passed down to me by my father and mother. Why, there are even those who say I am a master baker. And there are those who call me a donut, he says with a frown. Call you a donut? He gives you a long, puzzled look. After a moment, he takes one of his loaves of bread and swats you over the head with it. Okay, never mind. I was asking why they called you a donut. I didn't call you a donut. Master Baker. Yes, many people tell me that. Now thou dost say it too. If thou dost say so, then it must be true. Willie takes a bite of his own bread. I am a master baker. He's very proud of his craft. Got pastries here too. Father and mother. As well as a muffin, I saw, and a fruitcake. Willie wipes away a tear. Gone, both of them. Gone to join mine ancestors in that great kitchen in the sky. I'll never be able to cook as they did. Still, I plod along, trying to keep the family name alive, and that is why I'm a baker. But I suppose it is not the only reason. Why? Actually, there is a very good reason why I'm a baker. What's the reason? Because the way to a woman's heart is through her stomach. Why, I have 2 women in love with me right now, and I did not even have to pursue either one. 2 women. He sighs. If thou must know, their names are Jeanette and Gay. We already talked about Jeanette, and he just repeats that line there. Gay, who runs the costume shop, is of more interest to me, but she is a fellowship member, and I have no wish to become one. I hope that it does not prevent us from courting. It might. These fellowship members are like cultish. Secret recipes. Oh dear, do not tell me that thou art yet another person who is trying to pry one of my secret recipes out of me. If that is what thou art after, then thou wilt just be disappointed. Well, didn't want it, I just clicked on that because that's a dialogue option. My bread is the finest in Britannia. It is renowned for both its pleasant taste and its very reasonable price. But it is a lot of work making enough to satisfy the constant demand for it. I need to hire someone to help me. Hire? Thou couldst work for me here in the shop making bread, or I will buy sacks of flour from thee. Thou couldst buy them wholesale in paws, and I will pay thee 4 gold per sack. Dost thou wish to work here in the shop for me? Will I ask hopefully. Sure. Excellent, thou canst start work immediately. I shall pay thee 5 gold for every 5 loaves of bread thou dost make, alright? Sure. First, thou must make dough from the flour. Simply spread some flour out on the table and some water to make it thick and, well, doughy. Then, use the dough in the oven to bake it, wait a bit, then voila, thou dost have bread. You can buy from him too. I not only have bread for sale, but pastries, cakes, and rolls as well. The most delicious baked goods thou couldst ever wish to pop into thy mouth. Wouldst thou like to buy some? Let's see what he has. He's got bread, cake, rolls, and pastry. Let's buy a cake. 3 gold for a slice. Sure. I'll take 1. Answer is no. Bye. Good day to thee, my lord, and bon appetit. And it's... where is it? Right here. That's a big cake, and I'm gonna feed this to Spark. He's gonna eat the whole thing. Ah, very tasty. We'll also wash that down with some alcohol. Dupree is fighting with us internally at administering alcohol to our companion instead of himself, but oh well, he'll have to deal with it. There we go. Let's make some bread since we're here. It is almost 8 o'clock, like this. You do that. Then you got to use water, I think. I saved. Yep. That turns into dough. Then you just put that in the thing. Do not overcook it. Yellow says. Get out of the way, Willie. I'll wait a few seconds, I think. Should take a little bit. I believe the bread is ready. It is. There it is. We'll eat it. Ah, very tasty. I'm not going to work for him, though. I just wanted to do that neat little thing. There is one thing I want to take, though. Not from here. We could probably take this, because we can make, you know, bandages and stuff out of it. But probably not. You probably need more equipment. Anyone in here? I think we'll go to sleep. Screw this. Ah, there's a guy here. I was on my way to the inn, but we can talk to this gentleman here. You see a gleeful-looking merchant with an enthusiastic voice and manner. Name. Why, my name is Greg. It is good to see thee. Job? Why, I run the provisioner's shop here in Britain. I second home to the Intrepid, it is, excuse me. We can't buy anything. As I said, we have everything thou dost need to have a jolly splendid adventure. Oh, we can still buy stuff. He's got a bucket, lockpick, if you need lockpicks, hoe, a powder keg, backpack, bag, shovel, oil flasks, and a torch. Britain. I have moved my store here as a service to Lord British. He uses me exclusively to outfit all of his various expeditions, it is true. Lord British, so schedules are a little bit different, I guess. Hard to tell, it's excellent. Works differently from the actual Ultima VII game on DOS. This is Lord British's favorite provisionary shop. He told me so himself. All sorts of famous adventurers pass through these doors. Why, just last week we had an avatar, the avatar himself in this, my very own store. Another avatar, you say? Well, you said he was the avatar, but then it is not all that unusual encountering some loon or fool who claims to be the avatar. He looks at you and for a moment appears as a little embarrassed. Well, we are the avatar, so... Moved. I used to have my shop in Paws, but no one in Paws has the money to buy much of anything. That is true. Provisioner's shop. Why, thou dost look to be a person to whom adventure is no stranger. Whether thou art climbing a mountain, sailing the ocean, crossing a desert, exploring a dungeon, or sleeping under the stars, I have just what thou mayest need. Need? What every adventurer needs is good luck. There is just something about this shop, about the items bought here, something about me and my shop that is simply very lucky. I can give thee an example of what I mean. Sure. A fighting man named Gorn. Gorn? From Gothic? No, Gorn is actually a character here in the Ultima series. I believe he was a playable character in the previous game. A companion, I mean. Once bought a shovel from me and told me that it saved his life. Saved his life, you say? Gorn wanted to dig for some buried treasure somewhere, when he heard some noises behind him. Upon turning, he was horrified to see a swarm of undead skeletons rushing toward him. In his haste to dig up the treasure, he had unbuckled his belt and laid down his sword. The only thing in his hands was a shovel. He immediately began swinging it, and ended up knocking all the skeletons to bits. He now considers it his lucky shovel. Lucky. My customers are all people who go out and perform dangerous feats of bravery and daring do, but most keep returning to buy more provisions time and again. With all the dangerous things my customers do, it is a wonder I have not lost them all and gone out of business. People get lucky here. Gorn. Perhaps thou knowest a Gorn? He speaks with a most peculiar accent. Aye, good day to thee, my lord. I barely remember him, honestly. There's a character in here I want to talk to. That is... No, actually, that's not the character. Actually, never mind. We gotta give that venom pack to Morphin. I forgot again, darn it. I'll try to do that at the end of this part. I wrote it down and everything, too. My goodness. Let's talk to this healer, or read this book, rather. What's this say? The Art of Field Dressing, Lady Lay. I think we read that last time in Serpent's Hold. You see a healer who looks wise and honest. I have been looking forward to thine arrival, Avatar. Word spreads quickly. I am pleased to meet thee. Name. I am Sissel the healer, although in a past life I was known as Abrams. I became Sissel when I was advanced. Advanced? When my name is Abrams, I lived on the island of New Magentia, and did mine apprentice work there. My practice grew, and soon I was traveling by ship to Moonglow to see patients there. Practice. My practice grew swiftly. I am a modest man, but I do not mind saying that I was a popular healer. He is probably the best healer in all Britannia. Why, he cured a particular problem I had in no time at all. Oh? What problem was that? Never mind. The whole world does not need to know about it. Well, you probably shouldn't have mentioned it. Patience. Soon I had patients on 3 islands. It was then that Lord British received word of my practice. Lord British. Well, Lord British himself was struck down with some sort of malady. He sent for me. I arrived at the castle, and as soon as I could leave my patients, I examined the king. I know I messed that up. I'm getting easy to mess up the longer you talk and read these dialogues out loud. It appeared to me that something had infested his blood. I have a theory about it, which I am convinced is correct. Others, however, do not share my view. What's the theory? I believe that most sicknesses are caused by tiny living things. We cannot see these things with the naked eye. However, I am working on developing an instrument which can see these creatures. I believe that someday healing will not depend on magic at all, but on some form of treatment which makes one less vulnerable to these living creatures. Since these animals are biological, I call this theorized treatment antibiotics. What dost thou think, Avatar? Am I on the right track? Yes, you are. Good. I thought so. Others. There's a group of people who do not encourage my studies. I know who those people are. We do not get along at all. I think they have something against healers which goes beyond simple distrust. Dost thou know whom I mean? I do. Sissel nods. I thought so. The Fellowship is not quite what they seem. What can you tell me about them? They have a doctrine which outlines their beliefs. They believe if one is faced with pain, then he has no choice but to go through it in order to be a better person. I do not agree with this. No one should ever go through needless pain. But they are entitled to their own opinions. That's also the backstory with Saramid back in U, with his wife, who was a Fellowship member. She got sick and she died, and he holds a grudge towards Elizabeth and Abraham for that, making him a good candidate for Bring him into your party, though. I don't like having any more than like 6 party members. Services. He can heal, cure poison, do all that stuff. And we'll say bye, goodbye avatar. Read this if you like. A little bit of a break. Oh, another character. Okay. Skipped ahead a little bit. I was going to go to the inn, but I had a mind to go in here instead. We'll go to the inn in a few minutes. You see a fighter with intense eyes and a serious disposition. Name: I am Denby. Job: I'm a trainer. I specialize in a form of combat which relies on one's ability to use intelligence and physical ability to activate minor magical effects. But I am not a mage. I am a fighter. Magical effects. For example, I simply teach a combination of physical and mental exercises which increases one's intelligence. This in turn gives one an advantage if one desires to practice magic. Thou shouldst be aware, however, that magic is not working in Britannia these days. It is a dying phenomenon. No one understands why. Nevertheless, my training should increase any magic user's primary chances for casting a spell, as well as their fighting skill. Fighter. Although I am a fighter, I have dedicated my life to peace. There has been too much fighting in the world as it is. Let history take care of the adversarial qualities which exist in a man. I believe in using my skills as a deterrent. Train. 75 gold. Does this meet with the approval of thy purse strings? No. Denby bows. I am sorry my fee is too high for thee. Perhaps at another time thou wilt realize the value of my services. Bye. Denby puts his palms together and bows. Oh, I didn't even need to skip ahead. The inn is right north of Denby's shop. We don't need to buy a room. We can just do this because we already have the key. The game doesn't get rid of it for you. So we're gonna go sleep for an hour. And like that. Probably should have made a backup save just in case, but oh well. Long black screen. Little nap. Alright, let's go to the Fellowship Hall. I think it's right up here. Let's just pretend James gave us the room for free after helping him out with his wife. Here we are. The Fellowship meeting. I am worthy. And all that. I guess we'll listen in. Why not? The ceremony begins as Batlin stands before the gathered Fellowship members. I was going to do this later, because later we have to do it. The hall fills with thunderous cheers. They look at him with a mixture of awe and sheer adoration. Batlin stands and basks in the warm reception for a moment, a triumphant smile on his face. With a slight gesture of his hand, the crowd becomes quiet. It is good to see you here this evening, Batlin says. Surely you make me feel proud to be part of what we lovingly call the Fellowship. There is another eruption of applause. In thine heart be glad, for thou dost walk with the Fellowship. The people of Britannia live in a fevered state of illusory thoughts and emotions. But those whom I look upon here tonight are seekers of what is good and true in the world. They walk the path which leads to become truly cognizant. But how dost thou find thy way? Ask any Fellowship member and they will tell thee. The path to the complete awareness is easy to find. One must apply to one's life the triad of inner strength. The triad of inner strength is a series of 3 values that can bring the mind to a perfect state of sanguine cognition. The first value is strive for unity. When the totality of the people of the world want to accomplish something, then it becomes done. Thus, once the people of the world all strive towards the same ends, there is nothing that is impossible. Just think of it. A world where any dream can be fulfilled, any good can be achieved. But as thou canst see plainly by looking at our own sad society, when the people of the world are disunited, it is a miracle that anything gets accomplished. The second value is trust thy brother. Thou must surrender thy fear, prejudice, and suspicion. Look to thine own self. Before thou dost question anything, question thyself. The world is a place where the balances of nature are at work to protect thee every second without thee even realizing it. What canst thou accomplish in this world if thou dost spend all thy time questioning thy brother? Is he working as hard as I? What are his true motivations? As thou dost waste thine energies wondering, he sees thee and starts wondering these same things about thee. Thus is the world diminished. The third values worthiness precedes reward. There is not one among us who is without desire. Much of the misery in the world can be traced to unfulfilled desires. But one moment, why dost thou deserve what thou dost desire? This old English is messing me up. Most people get what they are worthy of in this life. If thou art not worthy of thy desire, then thou shouldst not be surprised if thy desires are unfulfilled. If thou dost become worthy, only then hast thou become open to fulfilling thy desires. Desire is a strange thing. Many long for things they do not really want. What they really desire is worthiness itself. I have just told thee all that thou dost need to follow the triad of inner strength. The lessons are simple. The true measure of thine understanding comes in how absolutely thou wilt apply them to thy life. This is long-winded. Thou now knowest all thou wilt ever need. Thou dost not need the arcane knowledge of the dying art of magic. Thou dost not need the unsure hand of the healer and his limited knowledge. All that thou wilt ever need is to continuously seek out the best in thyself, and to live amongst those that would do the same. Only then art thou truly walking with a fellowship. Now I think would be a good time to hear the words of our fellow members, to hear them share with us how the fellowship has been bringing positive change to their lives. That's Candace, I believe. Yep, Candace. The fellowship has shown me that I was afraid of myself and that I had to open myself up to life's experiences, says Candace. The fellowship helps me to be more honest with people, says Patterson. Thank thee for sharing, Patterson. Oh, we didn't talk to that person yet, I don't think. Yeah, I know that guy. We didn't talk to him yet. The fellowship has taught me how to better perform my duties as the caretaker of the rural orchards, says Fig. The fellowship has taught me to first and foremost treat people with respect, says Gay. After joining the fellowship, I learned how to be a man's man, says Grayson. The fellowship has helped me back from the brink of personal and financial oblivion, says Gordon. Right thou art, brother. The fellowship has freed me from the illusory appeals of mediocrity, says Sean. In the fellowship, I am learning that I need to devote my life to a special purpose, says Millie. Spark interjects or comments. This whole ceremony and everyone in it doth give me the willies. It is a sad thing to see so many people who have nothing else better in their lives than blindly following this dubious spiritual leader. Shamino says, "'Tis a sad thing that Britannia has fallen so far as to leave itself open to a group like this fellowship." And Dupre says, "'Tis a sad thing when I cannot even keep my eyes open from the boredom of this fellowship ceremony." You and me both, Dupre. And Yana doesn't comment. These characters here comment the most. From watching Batlin and the others, you get the feeling that the fellowship ceremony is going to last long into the night. Now would be a good moment to slip away without drawing much attention to yourself. Which is kind of hard to do. We're standing right in the middle, in a wedge formation. If you try talking to them, though, this happens. Candace is listening intently to the fellowship meeting. Patterson is doing the same. So is Fig, and so on and so forth. So let's just leave for now, and I'm going to wait a little bit. It's almost 10 o'clock. Or we can just go back to sleep, actually. Let's save. Manual right here. And go to sleep for about an hour. I already know where Patterson's going to be, so I'm probably just going to skip to that point, or walk to that point, rather. So, nighty-night. Alright, it's currently midnight. This might be a little sloppy skipping ahead, but if you remove this, you see how dark it is. Handy to have the fire sword, but I know where Patterson's going to be. And if you meet him, the fellowship meeting actually ends at like midnight, I believe, or 11:30. He acts a little funny around Candace if you talk to him after the meeting. But I already know where they're going to be. This is not the right house. We haven't talked to that lady, though. Well, this technically is the right house, but That's where Patterson's supposed to be. Probably guess what's gonna happen. Candace said something about finding love in the Fellowship. This is the building I believe we have to be. No, that's not it. I may have misremembered. We're currently right here. I believe there's another house north that I will check out. Right up here. Yes, there is. Rather nice house. Anything in the desk? Nope, just papers and a mirror. A hand mirror. Aha! I caught you. The Avatar has caught you. You are guilty. Avatar, how art thee? Oh, dost thou know Candace, the curator at the Royal Museum? She is a brother at the Fellowship. I was, just seeing her home. You're in the home, so what's going on? And does thy wife know thou art seeing Candace's home? Why, she doth not need to know. It does not matter. 'Tis nothing really. The mayor is sweating profusely. He looks at you with beady eyes. He knows he has been found out. His body slumps. He is mortified and ashamed. Thou hast discovered our secret. Please do not tell Judith. I will end this, I swear. Candace, we must stop meeting. I'm sorry. He decided to leave Patterson and Candace to work out what has happened. And you hope that the mayor has learned something about honesty. I was going to be like, are they going to go right into bed right after, like right in front of me? That's going to be a little weird. Candace looks guilty about something. She gives you a little wave, but says nothing. She looks at Patterson, hoping that he will do the talking. I probably should have talked to her first, because that didn't really make much sense. But yeah, Patterson is committing adultery. That is a sin. Well, it's a sin in the Bible. In the world of Britannia, it's against the virtues. It's not, well, honesty. It's not very honest, basically. He's committing the sin of dishonesty. So I'm probably going to go back and go to sleep. Let's go back to the inn. If you play a thiefly avatar, it's a good time to start stealing at this hour. Let's go to sleep. It's currently 12:40. We'll get a nice 8 hours. Being woken up like that, hour you wake up, hour you wake up, it's not really fun. But the avatar seems to be, like, can sleep whenever he feels like it. Which is something I wish I could do. I can't do that. But now, it is daytime. Now, I'm going to keep playing, by the way. It's almost an hour on my end. I'm going to keep playing until I talk to everyone here in Britain. We're almost done. I'm going to go south. Patterson's wife is Judith. We got to talk to her. She's not south. We got to turn this off, too. It's also raining. We don't get an umbrella. I wish they still made games like this. Like, Ultima VII is just still unique. You have Elder Scrolls. You know, you got Morrowind, Daggerfall, you got Oblivion, Skyrim, but they missed something this game has. Not saying those games are bad. Those are fun games. Even Skyrim's a fun game. People did not like it when it came out. They were really upset at the lack of RPG mechanics, but for me, it was still fun exploring that game. Your first time playing that game is still rather magical. Let's talk to this guy. You see a friendly face looking back at you. Name. My name is Gordon. Job. I sell fish and chips from my wagon. I do agree about the RPG mechanics, but I kind of one of those players that just doesn't bother with that, I guess. The game has other things I like that does it really well. I can kind of overlook it. Fish and chips. I never had fish and chips, by the way. I have the best fish and chips thou shalt taste in all Britannia. My price is only 8 gold coins per serving. Wouldst thou like to have some? Sure. He hands you a plate. They are indeed the best fish and chips in all Britannia. This is the market. Wagon. I just painted my wagon recently. It receives more attention. Business is much better now. I'm saving my money to travel to Buccaneer's Den. Oh, what's there? I wish to win some money at Buccaneer's Den. It is a pirate resort, and they have a fabulous house of games there. House of games. It is said they have several games of chance there. Gold can be won wagering on the outcome of a race of fine stallions. Pirate resort? As I am certain thou knowest, Buccaneer's Den was once a den of thieves and villains. As such, it held a romantic appeal for those who long for a taste of such an adventurous existence. I confess I am one of those people. When thou dost spend thy life selling fish from a wagon, thou art in need of excitement. The pirates eventually realize just how much they are secretly envied, and so they have turned their island into a place of thrilling amusements. I bet some rather unvirtuous things going over there. Business. Ever since I became a member of the Fellowship, my business has been increasing steadily. I have refined and improved the recipe for my fish batter, and it has since become a favorite meal of nearly everyone in Britain. I have even served my fish and chips to Lord British himself. You have. Thou dost know, the bloke who wears a crown and acts like a king? That is correct. Fellowship is a group that has been gaining much popularity. We already read that. Read that too. Tell us our philosophy. Anything new? The answer is no. Fare thee well. We said job, right? Let me click on him again. Yep, he did. Just gotta be sure, sometimes I forget. And there's supposed to be people here. They're not here now. Maybe they come at 9. Let's go this way, I guess. Maybe they're in this, they're sleeping. What the heck? Wakey wakey, it's time to get to work. It's time to go to school. Well, I'll talk to them in just a few minutes. Let's go over here. There's a lady we can talk to here. We heard of her name back in Pause. This is a pleasant-looking woman. You see a pleasant-looking young peasant woman. This is Diane. My name is Diane. We heard her back at the House of Items by Beverly. I think the rocking horse belonged to her, I think. I said I think twice. My job is to oversee the stables here in Britain and sell thee a horse and carriage if thou dost want one. Yana's stuck in the door, it's funny. Carriage. 120 gold, thou shalt find it in a small shelter just south of the stables, across the street. I do not want it, we already have one. No need to buy two. Stables. Here, thou wilt find a selection of the finest horses produced by Lord British's personal horse breeder. If thou dost wish to buy one, I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement. They come with a carriage, of course. Britain is such a grand city, but it can be somewhat disconcerting if thou dost not know anyone. Fortunately, I know many people here. People. I have many friends in Britannia. Among them are Greg, James, Brownie, and Mac. Did we meet Greg? We did. Greg runs a shop that sells provisions. If thou art planning any sort of expedition, he is just the person to see. He seems to be lucky. Perhaps some of it will rub off on thee. About James. James, who runs an inn not far from here, wanted a life of adventure. His family wanted him to run the inn after his father died, and he has been discontent ever since. Still, I think he fancies Cynthia, who works at the Mint. They're together, I believe. Brownie. Brownie is a decent and honest man who would have made a much better mare than Patterson, if thou dost want mine opinion. He uses our horses to plow his fields in the spring. Mac. One word of warning about Mac. Do not let him start talking about the sky. Other than that, he is perfectly fine, I can assure thee. Bye. Good day to thee, my lord. That's all she has to say. Let's go see if those merchants are finally doing their merchant duties. Just takes a few seconds to reach 9 o'clock. Nope. Anything in the thingy? No. They leave the doors open when they sleep. That's weird. Let's wait a few seconds. Alright, 9 o'clock, and our characters are starving. So let's feed them a little bit. Very tasty. Much better. You must have food. We'll have some. Okay, any more? Fill up on food, guys. Alright, any more? Usually 2 or 3 is enough. Yeesh. Wonder why I fed YOLO there. He just would not stop eating. Alright, they're all full up. I know Dupre had his alcohol, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. How's our food situation? Kind of low here. Chamino. We got plenty of food, though. Some of that is low-filling food, like carrots and stuff. So we're going to have to watch after the next feeding. It's 9 o'clock, so let's see, people here. What the heck? Why aren't you working out here? I want to talk to you. Well, I'm tired of waiting, so I guess they sleep in. I guess they have a different schedule. Wake up. You too. Oh, now they go to work. I have to wake them up to go to work. What the heck? They probably pop there if we're off screen a ways. That's rather amusing, isn't it? They had to have the avatar push them to work. Let's talk to this guy. You see a friendly-looking farmer who waves at you as you approach. Name? My name is Fred. Job? I sell meats here at the farmer's market in Britain. Farmer's market. Here at the farmer's market, we sell vegetables bought from the farmers just outside of town, as well as meats from the slaughterhouse in Paws. Paws is a good place to go to buy things for low prices. Many of the people are rather poor, I'm sorry to say. There is little active commerce there, however. In Paws, one must deal with people on a more personal level. What can you tell me about the slaughterhouse? We were there. It is run by a man named Morphin, a very successful merchant from Buccaneer's Den. Ah, no wonder he's kind of skeezy. Morphin left that place because he saw all the commerce that was developing there as competition to his own business activities and moved to Paws. Morphin is an unusual character. If I didn't know any better, I would say he was involved with a number of shady business activities. You probably are correct. They are the tastiest meats that thou canst buy. Do thyself a favor and try some. What do you have? We have a fine selection of meats for thee today, my lord. Mutton, beef, fowl, ham, trout, flounder, meat on a spit, and dried meat. I don't want anything right now. We'll talk to the lady. You see a sturdy-looking farmer's wife. She gives you a hospitable smile before returning to her chores. Name? I'm called Kelly, my lord. Job? Mine husband Fred and I run the farmer's market. Fred. My Fred is one of the most respected merchants in Britain. He sells the eggs and vegetables grown by Brownie and Mac, as well as exotic imported fruits. Mac. I do believe that poor old Mac has been cooped up with his chickens for too long. He's a good person. Do not be put off by the strange stories he doth tell. He rarely ever sleeps as he spends most of the night staring at the sky. Of course, his rooster crows at dawn and no farmer can afford to sleep past the dawn, so his mind is a bit ragged. So he's like that because he gets no sleep. Makes sense. Brownie is a good man. I do hope he runs for the mayorship again. If he does, thou must be sure to vote for him. Fruits and vegetables. We sell those mostly to older people. Let us know, I'm sure, how children do not like to eat their vegetables. Some people do not want to keep a lot of fruit in their home as they are afraid of attracting fruit flies. What can you tell me about the farmer's market? It's probably self-explanatory. The farmer's market is where most of Britain buys its food. Why, even the people in Paws will come here to buy eggs and vegetables. Fred has never raised the price of anything since opening this market many years ago. Eggs. Farmer Mac's chickens lay plenty of eggs. It is a good thing the people here have such healthy appetites. Paws. The people at Paws are always short of money. Mine heart goes out to them. They are always looking to buy the least expensive items, for it is all they can afford. But Britain. Well, in Britain they look for quality produce. I see the people who buy here look over every egg for cracks and every vegetable for any sign of spoilage. Buy. Our health vegetables should keep the healthy and good health, sure. I know I skipped that, excuse me. I'm sure we have something here that will be to thy liking. She's got eggs, apple, banana, carrot, pumpkin, and grapes. I don't want anything right now. Good day to thee, my lord. We're almost done. I think we got 2 more NPCs to talk to, so let's go up this way and say hello to these woofers here. There's 2 of them. Good doggy. Anybody in here? This is somebody's house. Yes, it is. These houses are rather simple, aren't they? Well, that's because this game was considered very huge when it came out. Small in size, but this is all they could fit. Did I not close that door right there? I'm gonna go to the music shop. The music parlor, whatever you want to call it. That's the fellowship hall right there. Should probably just skip ahead. But I'm not gonna do that. Is it this building right here? It is. Now here is where Judith works. I think there's also supposed to be someone right here too. I can't remember. You see an attractive middle-aged woman with music in her eyes. Name. I'm Judith, and I already know who thou art. Oh good, I'll have to introduce myself. Don't have to, I mean. Job. I teach music at the music hall. I also fatten my purse a bit by playing with the avatars. The avatars. We are a singing group. We play at the Blue Boar every evening. Please come and hear us. My pupil, Neno, is in the group. Yeah, he's right here. He's probably been there all night. We hope to tour the country next year, if we can raise the funds. Music Hall. Lord British appointed me music teacher a couple of years ago. Wow, British himself did that? It is a wonderful job. Music. Music is my life. I know I'll never be a famous bard, but I receive great pleasure from playing and performing. I enjoy teaching as well. Teaching. It fulfills my life's purpose to teach others. It also gives me time away from home. Oh, I do not want to speak about mine home. My husband and I, well, we're not altogether happy. Husband. Thou mightst know him. He is Patterson, the town mayor. He is an intelligent and honest man, but we have our differences. I do not know why I'm telling thee all this. Differences. Well, for one thing, he is a member of that group, the Fellowship. Another thing is that he does not spend too much time at home. I cannot believe he works so much. Works. He is always saying he has to work late. Some nights he comes home before dawn. Other nights he is out the entire night. Well, I must not think about it. I only become saddened. I must concentrate on my music. Fellowship. They seem to have taken over our lives. They seem to have taken over our country. They have. Aye. Judith goes back to her instrument after a smile and a wave. And that is Patterson's wife, and she's not aware yet. Patterson will hopefully tell her. I can't remember if you talk to Patterson again, which we will. If he tells Judith, and Judith, her dialogue reflects what happened that we saw earlier. Wanted to turn off those lights. Fig is up here. Makes sense, right? This is the apple orchards. Let's talk to him real quick. You see a man whose wrinkled face forms a caricature. Caricature of grumpiness? Is that how you say it? I forgot. Name. I'm Fig. He's wearing the fellowship medallion on his head, his forehead. Weston. He now resides in the prison, thanks to me. I knew what he was up to from the moment I saw him. He had the look of a hardened apple thief, so I had him nicked by the town guard. That's quite the profiling. You just knew someone was an apple thief. Well, if someone's at an apple orchard and they're planning on stealing, you probably tell. Apple thief. Oh, he came here with some sob story. But when one is as astute an observer of human behavior as I am, one can tell the true intent of people, which is often contrary to what they will say to thee. Observer. Yes, I do consider myself to be a more than passable judge of character. And dost thou know how I became so? No. And I shall tell thee, I am a member of the Fellowship. Oh, that explains a lot. He says that. He just says something about the Fellowship. We saw that already. Skip all that. No. What's the sob story? I do not recall exactly. Something about his impoverished wife and family starving to death in paws or some load of rubbish. That's true, though. Prison. Yes, Weston is now living in our local prison. If thou dost not believe me, thou canst go there and see for thyself. What we saw for ourselves when we freed him. Fellowship. I am a member of the Fellowship, yes, but it would be a crime for me to give apples from the royal orchard to the Fellowship. And it would be a violation of my sacred duty. While selling apples is also a violation, I was only trying to do this man, Weston, a favor. And I suppose these accusations are the thanks I get. But enough of these desperate accusations from a known criminal. I could do thee a favor as well. From buy. Wouldst thou like to buy one of these beautiful apples for the merest pittance of 5 gold coins? No. Very well, but thou art passing up an opportunity that few are offered. In fact, I would appreciate if thou wouldst not mention our little chat to anyone. Agreed? No? No? Well, fine then. Not like I need apples from you anyways. If someone asks, I'm going to tell them. But alright, I think that's all the NPCs. There's one more kid we can talk to. We missed one. This one, let's just do T because they move around all the time. That's Christy. Already talked to her. This is a new one. This toddler is full of energy and is playing hard when he sees you. He stops what he is doing. Name? Max. His name's Max. Job. Playing tag. The boy runs away from you to catch another child. That is it. Alright, let's go say hello to Patterson. He should be in his office. There he is. I was worried he wasn't going to be in there. How that help thee? Patterson asks. Candace. Patterson's eyes widen and for a moment looks very nervous, but very quickly he regains his composure. Okay. So I guess the quest didn't finish, or it finished back at the house. Well, I guess maybe I'm out of order or something like that. Oh well, let's just leave the town hall. That quest is done. I don't think there's anything else to do about it. If I messed up, someone will mention it to me. Maybe an Excel thing, or I did things out of order. Let's check to see if we got any experience. Excuse my flumbling voice. Gets like that kind of all the time. But especially when the LP is concluding. The LP is concluding, excuse me. Alright, no experience. Maybe a little bit. I think we got some, didn't we? But, wow, that took like an hour. An hour and 17 minutes on my end before editing. Next, we gotta go to Vesper and talk to the NPCs there and hopefully find Elizabeth and Abraham. Spoiler alert, we're not gonna find Elizabeth and Abraham in Vesper.